and I'm from HiCom Accounting. Thank you so much to come back to our live stream this week. And we have not been updated with live stream for about 2 weeks so far, mainly because it has been really crazy with all the changes and all the government funding and all kind of updates. That's why however, I decided to come back to do live stream this week to update everyone on five different kind of fundings from the government. So the fundings that are available right now for every businesses or every employee are available at 3 different levels. The first one is at the community level. Every single council may have the support for businesses, either in terms of like reducing rates or reducing obligation that businesses need to have or to be compliant with their council. The second one is support from the state level. For example, Victoria has the funding for, at the moment they got the funding for about 10,000 tax-free one-off payment for any eligible employer, any eligible businesses, and the conditions are the businesses need to be either making more than 75k this year 2019-2020 or expecting to make more than 75k in this financial year, and you need to employ employees, and in order for you to apply for this kind of funding, you need to have the latest BAS. So the BAS for the quarter ending March, which is 31st of March, probably right now not many businesses have finalized with the BAS of quarter ending March, but you can use either the BAS of the quarter ending December or quarter ending September to apply for this kind of funding. And you need to be able to show some sort of evidence with the government that your businesses are affected by coronavirus. No, this funding is not with the government, with Victorian, sorry. So you need to be able to show with the state that your businesses are affected with coronavirus. For example, I advise some of my clients to like take a screenshot of the contract that has been cancelled or the bookings that has been cancelled, and multiple expo or multiple marketing program has been cancelled by the coronavirus, to show with the state that all of your business activities has been affected by this virus. And if you go further than that, you can probably upload like bank statement comparison between last month and this month for the state to see that your sale actually reduced dramatically by this virus. So the support by the Victorian but the Victorian support of 10,000, I will be giving you guys the link below. $500 million for 10,000 each business, which means that we only have 50,000 businesses that gonna be receiving this kind of funding. All kind of funding during this period of time most likely will be tax-free. So the next one will be the federal support, which is the one that a lot of clients, a lot of people has been asking me about. Is either job seeker, job keeper, or boosting cash flow. So the job seeker and the job keeper are the one that some people could have or could find it overlapping. Say if you are the business owner, especially in this area that are forced to close down by the government, like restaurant, nail or beauty salon, then you can, from the 23rd of March, there's a information from the government that these businesses need to close down. Then unfortunately, as a business owner, you become unemployed. So you can go on your personal MyGov account and link that MyGov account with the Centrelink account, and then declare yourself as circumstantial unemployed. They say that the process of claiming this sort of funding is like streamlined right now, and it should be simple, should be straightforward. However, my clients and also the response rate on the website of the government is showing that the medical system actually, the Centrelink system is actually having a lot of errors and having a lot of bouncing back. So the best way is either to make an appointment for them to contact you back so that they can fix at the back end, or you can call them straightforward. But at this time, there's a lot of people calling them, and there's a lot of there's just a lot of technical issues for the government to fix the system for you to be able to declare that you are unemployed. So that support is called Job Seeker, and they're gonna pay for each eligible person $550 per 2 weeks. However, the government just announced another kind of funding, which is Job Keeper for business owner. So it is very often for business owner to declare themselves as the employee in the business. So Job Keeper is a thing, the kind of funding that they provide each eligible employee, either full-time, part-time, or casual who has been working with the employer for more than 12 months, $1,500 for 2 weeks. And this support will last for 6 months. So if you, as a business owner, declare yourself as job seeker for the support from Centrelink, and now you are also eligible for the Job Keeper, you can only get one kind of funding. And the Job Keeper is $1,000 per 2 weeks, $1,500 per 2 weeks. But the Job Seeker is $550 per 2 weeks. If you receive the Job Keeper $1,500, you need to update your record on the Job Seeker that you already receiving the Job Keeper money, so that they're gonna stop paying for you from the Centrelink support. For the Job Keeper, at the moment, it's only eligible for employees who are Australian citizenship or PR or under the subclass of 444 visa. So it doesn't support students or temporarily resident. You need to work with your practitioner about the list of eligible employee that you're gonna apply for them to get the Job Keeper funding, and the expression of interest for employer to apply the Job Keeper funding right now is out on ATO. I'm gonna put the link below after this live stream, so you can register with the ATO that you are interested into applying for this one. At this stage, the method of putting the application for this kind of funding, they are still working on it technically, and there's no gateway to apply for this application just yet. For this application, you're gonna have to update the government on monthly basis about your business status. For example, some businesses that will be affected like 1 month or 2 months. So the first month, you need to update the government about your business status so that the government can update you about the payment. And another eligibility conditions for the businesses to be eligible to get this sort of funding is that you need to be able to show that your sale either reduced by 30% for the businesses that less than 1 million, or more than 50% for the businesses that more than 1 million of turnover. So the comparison that could be compared with the same period of last year, which means that after finalizing the batch of quarter ending 31st of March, you can compare with the batch of quarter ending 31st March 2019. Or another way is that you can compare on monthly basis. For example, this month compared to last month. So to all of the people who are restaurant, who are service provider, who are beauty salon or nail, whatever, the easiest way to get this kind of funding is that you can compare on monthly basis turnover and using your bank statement, because you are forced to close down from the 23rd of March. Some restaurant or takeaway businesses could probably still running and still receive some money into your bank account, but you can probably see that your sale reduced dramatically using your bank statement, and then you compare like 2 weeks of March, 2 last week of March with 2 first week of April compared to another 4 weeks before this happening. And then each eligible employee, you receive $1,500 under that eligible employee. You need to pass the whole amount onto the eligible employee, whether on, like, regardless that they were receiving less than 1,500 when they were working for you, now the government gonna pay for you $1,500, and each employee you have to pay for them. You cannot keep this money for the business. Or some full-time employer who get paid more than $1,500 per 2 weeks when they were working for you, you still have to keep to pay their usual wage. For example, if you have been paying them like $2,000 for 2 weeks, now you still have to pay them $2,000 for 2 weeks. But the government gonna subsidize you $1,500, which means that on top of that you have to pay them extra another $500 because they are full-time worker. You still keeping them as a full-time worker, which means that you still have to keep paying them on the full-time work normal wages. And about superannuation. Okay, so superannuation is a tricky part. As long as they are eligible, which means that for example, for full-time and part-time, they're already on the package. You keep paying them the superannuation on their usual wage. And some part-time employer may receive more money compared to their usual wage because of the government subsidy. You can keep paying superannuation on their usual wage. It is not compulsory for you to pay superannuation on the cap of $1,500 per 2 weeks. If the salary was just like $1,000 per 2 weeks, you can pay superannuation on that amount because that's their usual wage. And for casual, it's really hard right now to calculate the superannuation because for casual staff, there's no usual wage because casual get paid on the amount of time, on the amount of hour that they're working for that businesses. So how are we going to decide how much to pay the superannuation on the casual staff? So for this casual staff who eligible to receive the subsidy from the government, we are still waiting for the instruction from either CPA, CA or IPA to update us on how to pay superannuation on the eligible casual worker. But my guess, I think that because they are casual, so one method that could be done like using the average yearly salary. For example, in the last financial year, you have been paying them like $12,000 over the year, which means that a month you pay them $1,000. You can use that as a guidance to pay the superannuation, or they could come in back and say that because the fact that they're casual, so there's no superannuation paying on those on the employees. At this stage, the guidance on paying superannuation for the job seeker is only clear for the full-time and part-time, but for casual, it's not clear. A lot of people are paying subcontractor or ABN holder, and that ABN holder or subcontractor has been working with them for more than 12 months. Are they eligible for the job keeper or not? So if the contractor or the ABN holder have been working with you, they can apply for the job keeper themselves and nominate themselves as the employee in their own business. Because ABN means Australian Business Number, which means that themselves, they have their own business. They can apply for themselves and nominate themselves as the employee. So a lot of medical clinic or a lot of some sort of service provider that they work with ABN holder on commission base, say every contract or every project that you get, an ABN holder who is an expert in that area get 40%, and then you got 60% or whatever. And because of the personal reason or because of the nature of the business, you want to keep that ABN holder and you want to help them out during this hard time by paying half of what they normally get and then applying them for the job keeper to get $1,500 to pay for them or whatever. It is entirely up to you. So because they're ABN holder, they're subcontractor, they are not full-time or part-time or casual. You don't have to apply them, or you are not compulsory to pay for these people during the difficult time. But if you pay for them out of goodwill, it is up to you. It is your decision based on the cash flow of the business, and you thinking that you can still afford this person, or you want to keep that person, or you want to have a good relationship with this person after all of this gone, you can still like keep employing, keep working with them, keep having them as a service provider for you. So that is the one for the job keeper. Each businesses that will have the different tips of how to show the government that you are eligible for the job keeper. So at the moment, with the instruction that we got from any accounting bodies like CPA or CA or IPA, the government is saying that if your if your sales is less than 1 million, you need to show that your sale or your turnover reduced at least by 30% to be able to get the job keeper. But actually, the guidance that we get from CPA or CA, they're gonna let this loose. Like if you over expect that your sale reduction is like more than 30%, but actually when it doesn't come to reduce up to 30%, you can still apply. So my professional and personal judgment for my clients is that if your sales only reduced to like 27.5%, we still apply for that employer during this time. So you need to speak with your accountant, and you need to actually sit down to choose the right period of time to make that comparison, to make sure that you're eligible. For any businesses that's more than 1 million, maybe 45%, 47%, even though it's not up to 50% sale reduction, still apply for it, because the instruction from accounting bodies are clear. Even though you don't reach up to the level of 30% or 50% or more than 30% or more than 50%, just apply for it. So the last one is a boosting for cash flow, and this is a thing that you have to prepare on your BAS very clearly, and you need to have a very good communication with your tax accountant or anyone who lost your BAS, or even yourself if you lost your BAS. So a lot of people thought that the boosting for cash flow is a kind of funding that they're gonna get in cash. No, you don't have it in terms of cash. The government not gonna give it for you as cash. They're gonna give it for the businesses that keep employing staff, joining hand with the government to recover the economy, keep employing people, keep creating jobs, keep like supporting other people during this hard time. So if you keep employing people and if you're eligible, you will get credit for the PAYG withholding, which means is a tax that you withhold on salary of your staff. And you still get the credit even though you don't withhold on your staff salary. So for this financial year, the government funding is minimum from 10,000 to 50,000, but this kind of support will last for 8 months, from March, April, May, June to July, August, September, and October. So that 8 months, which means that in this financial year, the minimum is 10,000, the maximum is 50,000, and then in the next financial year, if you keep employing people, if you keep paying for stuff, you are entitled for another 10,000 to 50,000. So during this 8 months from March to October, you can either entitle from anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000 to for the credit on your PAYG withholding. All right, so single touch payroll is a really important thing. And also one of the criteria that the government gonna look into it to decide any unusual activity, which means that there will be a lot of businesses starting to pay more salary for themselves, for the business owners, and also for the family member. And have you lost the single touch payroll? Have you paid the superannuation? Because if you pay superannuation, it is another criteria for them to see that, okay, this salary is legitimate. So the due date for paying for lodging the BAS and paying superannuation for the quarter ending 31st March is 28th of April. So you need to work on your BAS ideally prior 15th of April, like middle of this month, so that you could have the clear picture to applying for job keeper and boosting for cash flow at the same time. So that's what I do for all of my clients. I do the BAS prior, like make sure that all the batch done before the 15th of April. And then you need to sit down with your tax accountant, or at least go through everything to make sure that you get the boosting for cash flow, because if you get it this quarter, high chance, more likely you're gonna get it the next quarter. And if you get it in this financial year, it is more likely that you're gonna get it the next financial year. And by the 15th of April, I think it is enough for you to print out the bank statement, compare of like 15th of April compared to 15th of March and a month prior, right, to see how your sales is doing. And then you can, by that time, hopefully the government already have the instruction on how to apply for the JobKeeper. At the moment, the technical the technical gateway to apply for JobKeeper is still not out yet. So anything that updating today is still based on whatever out today. So there will be more updates, there will be changes, and there will be more instruction of how to do it. So this time of the year is really sensitive. A lot of things could change, and you need to work very closely with your tax accountant to know more about your situation. They always give out the general conditions and also the general guidance for everyone. But at the same time, as I say, every different situation gonna be different. Every business is gonna be different. It depends on how you argue with it, or how you substitute your evidence as well. So make sure that your accountant understands your personal situation. Like I said, the JobKeeper, even though for my clients, even though the sale only reduced 27.5%, we will still apply for it. So talk with your accountant to see what they can bend or what they can argue within their capacity. Furthermore, what else? I think about it, there's 5 support that I mentioned. The support from the community, which is from the council level. Every council should have some sort of support or some sort of relief on the, for example, like permit or licensing with that council, or rates with the council. And then every state will have the support, like Victoria government right now have the 10,000 months off, that I will put the link below. And then at the government level, at this stage, as the business owner, you should think about the JobKeeper and the boosting for cash flow. Any personal question, please inbox us through the page of HiCom Accounting, and I will make sure that I will answer every single one of you. If we cannot help every single one of you, we are sorry for that, because during this time it is really flat out with a lot of businesses and a lot of business owners who are under a lot of pressure because of paying rent, paying for full-time, part-time, or the permanent position on their payroll. So how about you sit back and think about the business strategy for you? Because if the government budget all kind of support for 6 months or 8 months, it means that this kind of virus, or the effect from the virus, is going to be going for like another 8 months. So you need to cut back all the unnecessary costs, and you need to get your business under survival mode to make sure that you can survive for another 8 months, because a lot of small business is gonna die out after this. That's why the support from the government funding is only given for the people who deserve it, which means that you keep doing businesses, keep paying for people, keep employing staff. So if you look at the nature of the government funding, you see that they only support for the people who gonna pull through this. Anyone who not gonna pull through this, the government funding is not gonna given for that people, especially the JobKeeper. You have to update the government on monthly basis. So but it also means that if you survive after this, there will be less competition for you as a business owner, because of all the small one gonna die out after this one. So how about doing a lot of marketing, thinking about the content for the business, thinking about the business strategy, what are you going to do, anything that was not online before, can you change it into online, or working from home, or anything that you didn't have time to put on your businesses before, now you have more time to put on your businesses. And tax accountant at this stage, never more important for your businesses than any other period of time. So make sure that you work closely with your tax accountant. But at the same time, like this time of the year, they're crazily busy. So good luck, everyone. Thank you so much for today. And for HiCom Accounting, after the 5th of April, we're not going to receive any new clients. So anyone who wants the support from us, you only have 3 days to get in touch with us, and we will only process any new clients during these 3 days. After the 5th of April, we're not going to receive any more new clients, because it's impossible for us to prepare in 10 days for two different kinds of funding for so many businesses, and I want all the clients of mine to have a good services. So yeah, thank you and good luck. See you next week. Bye.